at Valbonne. I'm in France now 7 months. I will explain more about my story, how I came from Ivory Coast to French. That is very terrible. That I will explain. Like my mother got an accident when I was having 16 years, and after the accident, we took her to hospital. We were not having money to take care of her, so after 2 weeks, she died. So my mother, she's a Christian, and my father is a Muslim. But because I was with my mother, I'm a Christian. My dad is a Muslim. So after the death of my mom, my dad said he cannot take of me. So I have to find my way. I said, no, dad, you are my dad. You gave birth to me. My mom is not around. You are here. I have to come with you. So you have to take of me, whether you like it or not. So I've been to his house several times. There was a day I can remember. I went to his house. He took a knife. He said, Sheriff, if I see you here again, I will kill you with this knife. Oh, I took my, I don't know what to say. I looked up. I started crying. I was with my sister. I don't know what to do. I said, oh God, why this to me? I said, it's life. Everything can happen. So I was in the street with my friend. All my friends, they are bad boys. Most of them, they are smokers, thief. So I don't have interest. I have to follow them. So I was on the street in 2 months, I think 2 months, I was working with them. So I don't know what to do. So I got a friend from Niger, a country called Niger. So he said, Sheriff, I know you suffered a lot, but I'll help you. Because this world, we don't know who can help. But you, I'll be your helper. I said, okay. If you can do so, I'll be very, very happy. He said, okay. So after that, he took me to his family in Niger. After I reached Niger, that place was very, very terrible. I was suffering a lot. Even to eat, it was a problem. I will wash their clothes, I will do everything, I will clean their room, everything I will do for them. I said, no, this is my life. I'm still young, I have a future. So I have to fight to be a man. Because he said to be a man is not easy. I said, yes, this life. So I said, no. I left the house. I went away. I started working. One day I met an old man, and he said he's maybe above 15 years. He said, oh, you boy, wait for me. And I explained my story to him. He said, yes, you suffered a lot, but I'll help you. I said, okay, if you can do so, I'll be happy. He said, you know, I'm doing barter trade. He's doing a business from Niger to Libya. He will go and buy goods in Libya, and he will come and sell it in Niger. So he said, okay, if you can follow, no problem. I said, yes, I will do. So I went with the man. We reached the barrier between Libya and Niger. We met those Libyan armies. They stopped. They said we should give them money. I was not having any money with me. But they were speaking Arabic. I can't speak Arabic. It's the only man who speaks Arabic. So the man was talking with them. They were talking with them. They collected everything. Money, food, everything they collected. So we were just going inside the car. We spent 3 days without eating. Without drinking, without sleeping. Oh God. We spent 3 days without eating. So after that, we were continuing. So we reached, I think there's a place in Libya, they call Sabah. We met those people also, those armies. They stopped us. He said, you people were from you. The man was talking to them also. He said, no, without money, we cannot go anywhere. So they took me and the man, they put us in prison. After 3 days, he said, if you didn't give them money, they will shoot two of them, they will kill us. Even in Libya, if you are passing, you'll be seeing people there, people falling, people killing people, shooting people. They were raping ladies. Libya is not a country, oh God. It's not a country. It was very terrible. I saw things, I was surprised. I said, oh God, why? So you brought me this life to come and suffer, God, why? I said, it's life, I will just continue. So one day, me and that particular man, we decided to run away. Because the man said, you are young, if you stay here, they will kill you. I said, okay, no problem, it's a good plan. We can run away. So there was a day, at night, we were running. In 10 minutes after, I just hear people were shouting, hey people, where are you going? Stand, where are you going? If you go, I will shoot, I will kill you. So I was with the man. We were running. The man was tired. He can't do anything again. He said, "Oh boy, you are young. I'm old. You can go, leave me." I said, "No, I won't leave you. You are my helper. I have to help you because you help me." He said, "No, go. You have a future." I said, "Okay, if you say so, I will go." I was just running. I was running. I was tired. I don't know what happened. Maybe the man was shooting or the man was arrested. I don't know. So I was inside a bush. I went to hide inside a bush. I slept there. The next day I woke up. I don't know anybody because all Libya is spoiled. All Libya. I was inside the desert. I was alone. No water, no food, nobody. I was just alone. I was just walking. And I reached in front. I met some people also. I said, please, I don't know anybody. Can you help me? He said, yes, they can help me if I have money. I said, oh, I don't have money. I've suffered. I don't have money. Please help me. He said, no, they will help me. If they want to help me, maybe they will kill me so that they know that they've killed somebody. Because I remember a soldier said every day he kills more than 7 people. Because if he kill, he's happy. If he doesn't kill, he's not happy. I said, please, I have nobody. Please help me. He said, okay, I will help you. He took me to the prison again. After the prison, they beat me. Even after some mark with me, they beat me. They beat me. I was the youngest. We were about 200 people in that particular prison. It's very big and large. They beat me. I suffered there. I spent 2 weeks there without anything. I will wash their clothes. I will do everything for them. So one day I decided that if so, I'm tired. Kill me so that's better because I'm tired of life. But I was having only one thing. I was having faith with God. I was having that particular faith. I said, if God you know you are the only God that everybody prays, everybody thanks, please help me in this situation. That particular faith I was having, I said, okay, no matter how, I will make it. Because they say with God everything is possible. So I was just going. They beat me, they marched on me, they were doing everything, they were raping people, beating people, they were shooting like, oh God, they were doing all those kind of things. So I said, okay, and I begged them. They said, okay, you have one chance. You are the smallest in this particular prison. We will leave you to go. But if you go, after 5 minutes, I'm coming with my cars. If I meet you, I'll shoot you. I said, oh God, okay. So he said I should go. I was just running. In the desert, I ran more than 10 kilometers. I was just going. No food, nothing. So I said, if so, I'm hopeless, no hope. So I went near the sea. I said, I'm testing how to drink water. I don't have water, I don't have food. So I took the sea and I drank some. I said, it's life. After that, as I was sitting beside the sea, more than 20 minutes, I said, no, the best thing is that I have to clean myself. So I decided to remove my shirt. I removed everything. So I wanted to enter the sea and clean myself. But I prayed to God. I said, God, please, I'm going. My sister that is behind, please help her. Anything she needs, do for her. So 20 minutes after, I met, there was a man was coming in a boat, not boat, it's small. So that man was coming. He said, hi boy, what are you doing? I said, hi, I don't know what I'm doing, I just want to go. He said, where are you going? I said, I'm going. He said, no. Do you know this place? I said, yes. This is the sea, I'm just going. He said, no, don't go. I said, wait, I will go. He said, what's the problem? I wanted to explain my problem.